Hey Kubos, what's up? Finally here today, Final Fantasy Talk. Today we're going to talk about some more Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns news, and yes, we finally are getting more Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns news, and today we're going to talk about more returning characters that are coming to Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns, and Square Enix just said this 2 hours ago. This was some news from Square Enix themselves, and they said that in Final Fantasy 13 Light Returns, Cid reigns. Yes, Cid reigns in Final Fantasy 13 in the first Final Fantasy 13 anyway. He is returning in Final Fantasy 13 Light Returns, and Cid reigns was a pretty main character, especially in the army and everything for Final Fantasy 13. The first 13 anyway. So seeing him returning in Final Fantasy 13 Light Returns is very interesting. And in the magazine that he was in, Cid quoted, "It's not God what's moving me, it's the countless thoughts of the dead. I am a representative of the dead." So maybe he's having some dead powers, kind of like what Fanille is having as well. Fanille is having, she can talk to the dead now and everything. Maybe he can do something somewhat with the dead. Who knows? Maybe he can revive the dead. Maybe he is dead and he's like, you know, kind of like some Final Fantasy X thing where the undead is walking around and everything. Who knows? It could be something like that. But he is having countless thoughts of the dead. And yeah, and he also said another quote in the magazine, and it said, "You should know very well whose soul you must find." So I guess it's pretty interesting because we don't really know much about this guy. We know much about him in Final Fantasy 13 in the first 13 game. We know what he was doing in that game, but at the end of the game, that was it. In 13.2, nothing more. And now for Final Fantasy 13 Light Returns, he is back. And well, you always have to have a Cid in Final Fantasy games. So I guess, you know, this is the reason to put him back in this game, because you always have to have a Cid in the Final Fantasy games. And yeah, so there you go, Kubos. Cid reigns is back in Final Fantasy 13 Light Returns. What do you think about this? I'm kind of, I just really am confused right now. That's why I'm kind of like messing up my commentary a little bit, because I just don't know why this guy is back. The only thing that I can think of is that they brought him back because, well, you know, you always need a Cid in a Final Fantasy game. So so anyway, Kubos, you let me know in the comments below what you think about Cid reigns coming back in Final Fantasy 13 Light Returns, and what do you think his main objective for this game will be in Final Fantasy 13 Light Returns. You let me know in the comments below, Kubos. And yeah, so anyway, Kubos, hope you enjoyed. Actually, I need to say something before I leave. You see this Final Fantasy background I did? A Kupo of mine, a viewer of mine, made this. She is awesome. Go check out her YouTube channel. Link in the underbar. Go check her out. She's very awesome. And yeah, go check it out. She made this new Final Fantasy Talk background, and I really do like it. So anyway, Kubos, hope you enjoyed. I'm Final, and I'm out. Kupo. See ya!